Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
All right, what's up, guys? This is Tom Taylor with South China Morning Post, SCMP Martial Arts. Over there on the other side of the screen is Eddie Abasolo, a fighter everyone's talking about all of a sudden because you had this great win last Friday in Singapore, knocked out Niclas Larsen. Just a really impressive performance. First things first, how are you feeling after that win? I mean, how's this week been for you?
Man, this week's been awesome. I'm just right back to the drawing board, man. Fought Saturday, got back on Sunday, worked out on Sunday just, because it's advised to work out after a long plane flight, which is like 16 hours. Got a sweat on, but I've been training ever since, man. Today was probably the first real day I took off, or yesterday. But yeah, I'm ready for the next. I'm getting ready for the next challenge. You know what I mean? Just trying to stay active.
Yeah, keeping your nose to the grindstone, definitely. I'm in Canada, so I know that long flight well, man. That'll take a lot out of you both ways, man. So did you have
Yeah.
any time to kind of kick back at all after this one, or was it really just right back to training? Any celebration or relaxation in there?
Um, Probably the weight off my shoulders. You know what I mean? In a sense of relaxation, but I was right back to training. Maybe lowering the intensity, but not completely stopping. I'm just trying to
Hmm.
take this momentum and build off of it. Because the way I'm looking at this thing is like a 7-game series. Like yeah, I put on a good performance my last fight, and I got the KO. Um, but for me, there's no time to rejoice. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The fact that I was able to perform well and be relaxing there is probably the reason to rejoice. But the win, I can't rejoice off of that. If the if the belt is the goal, that's the championship. And
Hmm.
that famous quote from Kobe when they asked him, you're up 2 games to 0, like you don't seem happy, and he responded with, the job's not finished. They still got more games to play before they win, before they get the title, before they get that championship. So for me, it's just like, all right, this is one of those games, you know, like job's not finished.
That's the Mamba mentality, man. That's a great
Yeah,
mindset for you to have. I love to hear
yeah,
that. Lots of exciting things on the horizon for you. Certainly, I want to talk about the future, but let's talk a bit about the fight first before we move on to that.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
start with the game plan. I mean, it was a great fight to watch. It seemed like you were just hitting him so hard every time he got close, and it seemed like you had a lot of faith in your power too in this one, at least compared to his. I mean, what was the strategy in this one?
Man, the strategy was to use my movement. When I fought Liam Nolan, I didn't really execute as natural as I would have liked. It was my first time in one against a game opponent like Nolan, and small gloves and the cage. There was a whole bunch of things that at the time, if you would have asked me, are you feeling any pressure or anything? I would have told you no. Just for my mentality's sake. But looking back, uh, yeah, there was a lot of pressure. First time fighting for one. Um, and like I said, just all the factors that I just named. This time I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna just go in there and have fun. I'm not gonna
Mm,
worry about the knockout. I'm not gonna worry about nothing else. I'm not gonna worry about him. I'm gonna just do me and try my best uh, to find a place that's comfortable while I'm in the
mm,
ring.
hmm.
And
That's
things just
awesome.
kind of unfolded.
Yeah, they unfolded very well, I'd say. You mentioned the small gloves. Now, obviously, for a lot of Muay Thai fighters, that's a transition that needs to be made when you come to one. There's things that change, obviously, offensively and defensively with the small gloves. Now, the first fight, you said, there was maybe a little bit of discomfort with those small gloves, the adjustment period. But this fight, you looked like a fighter who was like born to fight
Yeah.
in small gloves, man. Are you having fun in the small gloves?
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. Now that I'm more familiar with seeing them come in and throwing them as well, because your hands just feel so light, and just being in those gloves, you just wanna put your hands on somebody.
Hmm.
Uh, but now that I've got that anxiety out, you know what I mean, of
Mm,
seeing them coming and throwing them, I feel a lot more comfortable,
hmm.
and it's just another day in the office.
Well, that's great to hear, man. You certainly looked comfortable. You mentioned the Liam Nolan fight a few moments ago. Obviously, that one didn't go your way.
Mhm.
Just with that experience in your one debut, how satisfying was this one to not only win but win in such exciting fashion? It must have felt pretty good, right?
Oh man, it felt great, man. Like I can't even put into words how great it felt, because especially, man, being human, you know what I mean? We have these no matter what level you're at, you have doubts, you have like just natural emotions, you know what I mean? And after after that fight, I really questioned myself, like, man, the best of the best are in one. And
Hmm.
after that fight, there were glimpses where I'm like, all right, do I truly belong here? You know what I mean? Like, do everyone's a beast? Am I one of them? Do I truly belong amongst these titans as well? And it was I really buckled down in the camp, and like had to do a lot of self-talk, and every day was just about discipline and tell myself like, you belong there, you belong there, you belong there. Uh,
Mm.
and I just truly believed it by the time I stepped into the cage, and if we watch both fights, my first one and the last one, we can see a huge difference, you know what I mean, day and night,
Hmm.
and just my posture, my presence, my attitude, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was a lot of self-talk.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's got to be tough not to get that imposter syndrome they talk about, after a loss,
Yeah,
especially. But you definitely proved that you belong, man. You should be part of this roster. There's no question about that. And another thing that I heard from one of the PRs at One Championship, I don't know if they told you this, but you're the first male American fighter to win a Muay Thai fight in one. Did you know that?
oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. I mean, Jackie Buntan and
Damn.
Janet Todd, some
Yeah,
American women have won fights, but
yeah,
I believe you're
yeah.
the first man. So that's pretty cool, right? A little feather
Oh
in your
man,
cap.
that's dope. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. Very
tight.
cool, man. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm obviously one's got this big US debut coming up on May 5th in Denver. Little late to be part of that at this point. That card's filled
Mhm.
out, but I think they got plans for another one maybe later in the year. And certainly, further on down the road, there'll be lots more. Probably goes without saying that it's your hope to land on a few of these at least.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. That way, a lot more people would come watch it live.
Hmm. And how do you
Yeah.
find the experience of traveling to Asia to fight? It's not an easy flight, as I said before.
No, it's not. It's not easy. It's, I believe, 18 going there. It's longer going there than it is coming back. Uh,
Mhm.
and plenty of times I'm getting up, I'm stretching, I'm just trying to pass the time. 19 hours. But then as soon as I get land wherever I land, you know what I mean, whether it's here, whether it's there, I try to do something active and just try to get on
Mm.
uh, get on schedule. You know what I mean, and
Mhm.
train when I'm gonna end up fighting and whatnot. So I was waking up at 4 o'clock every day, 4 a.m. when I was out
Mhm.
there,
Mm.
and I just try
That's
to
cool,
keep
man.
that schedule.
I can tell you're a real thinking man's fighter, not just in terms of the competition, but it seems like you give a lot of thought and you put a lot of analysis into your training and your preparation as well too, man. That's very cool to hear. Now, I got to ask about the weight stuff. Unfortunately, there was the weight issue
Yeah,
beforehand. You were coming down a weight class, right? So these things happen, and it's complicated in one. These things, it seems to happen to somebody every card, and this time it
yeah,
was you.
yeah.
I mean, what happened from your side? What went wrong?
Um, well, the thing is, like, when I fought for my first fight with Liam, I went up a weight class. 155
Hmm.
is my natural weight class. Uh, so I had to make 170. I ended up weighing in no more than 167, right?
Hmm.
And I was eating too. I was eating. I was, trying to put on weight and like be at 170, but 167 was what I was able to reach. So I didn't get to experience having to go through the hydration process. I was fully hydrated, this time was a bit different. I treated
Mm.
the process as if it was just another day of making weight. I should have kept on sipping water throughout the day because I was a pound under. I was just chilling. I made weight, had to drink some water. Uh, I made weight, failed hydration, right?
Mm.
So I
Right.
ended up
Yeah.
having to drink some water and then to get hydrated and then try to go cut again. So
Hmm.
I think I did that process. I was still dehydrated by the time it came back to test. I think I did that two or three times. So
Mhm,
technically, I made weight three times because I kept having to drink and then go cut, and then drink
mhm,
and then go cut. Uh, but the time limit was at 11, the cutoff.
mhm.
So at that point, it was either call off the fight or we meet at a catch weight, and thankfully, um, Niclas Larsen took the fight, being the gentleman that he is, coming to fight. And I ended up weighing in at 58. You know
Mhm,
what I mean?
mhm.
So I'm still getting
Yeah,
used to the hydration process and
mhm.
how to like balance the two, both weight and hydration.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've covered a lot of these hydration testing things myself, and so I've seen the fighters go through this, and it's so complicated, man. And I've spoken to so many of you guys about this, and even some of the people that have been in one for 5, 6, 7 fights are still
Yeah,
kind of trying to figure it out. But you looked really good at this weight. I know you weren't quite there, but this is
yeah,
clearly the
yeah,
right fit for you. You feel like next time out, the weight will be no problem. You can just get down to business.
yeah, yeah. No problem, man.
Nice, man.
I like I said, when I was at 154 before I
Hmm.
stepped on the scale, so the weight wasn't an issue.
Yeah, right.
It
It's
was
just the
just
system.
the
Yeah,
height. Yeah, the
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
hydration thing.
Yeah, well, man, this is very cool that you moved down to this division again because it's maybe one of the best divisions in one. This featherweight division,
Yeah.
so many killers in the weight class.
Oh
Obviously, you got
man.
Tawanchai at the top. That's who you're
Yeah,
gunning
yeah,
for, but that's probably a little ways off now. But so have you given any
yeah.
thoughts like who's next for you? Who you want to fight next? So many
Um,
choices.
yeah. There's so many choices. I'm just gonna be prepared for whoever one decides. I'm not a matchmaker. I'm down to
Hmm.
fight whoever they put in front of me. Uh, I'm just gonna be prepared for whoever they feel would fit me next. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I'm just
Hmm.
gonna
Well,
go
you're
out there and perform.
Yeah, you're one of these fighters that I think matches up well with a lot of people, man. You just got that style that
Yeah,
seems to be so fun, man. I think
yeah.
there's so
Thank
many
you.
exciting fights for you to be made for you. Let's talk about the champ a bit though, because obviously that's the guy you're gunning for. Very highly regarded in this weight class, considered kind of a pound for pound talent in Muay
Hmm.
Thai. What do you think of him? And is that a fight that you're confident you'll win at some point if it happens?
Um, if Well, what do I think of him? I admire him a lot, man. When I first seen him, perform, I became a fan instantly. He's so calm, he's so composed, he knows his distance well. It just seems like he's locked in all the time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, if I was to anyone that stands across from me, I plan on beating them. Of course,
Hmm.
I mean, as we all should. Uh, I don't know. Again, I don't have a necessary game plan because he's so dynamic and so
Hmm.
good at so many things. Uh, I would just have to go out there and, try my best to find my rhythm and break his rhythm.
Hmm.
Those are the only things that I could say for sure. I can't really predict on how things would play out, but I would
Hmm.
go out there and I would do my best to get my hand raised, as with any fight.
That's a great answer, man. That's a great answer. Now, obviously, as I said, just so many options in this division, but the lightweight division's heating up too. Do you have any interest in going back up there at any point, or is it featherweight for now for you?
Um, Right now, I'm focused on featherweight. Now,
Mhm,
if say just for circumstantial purposes, say that I can't find a matchup, or they might need a matchup for someone in the 170. I have no problem with going back up there and you know what I mean, filling in or in any case, you know what I mean.
mhm.
I would like to stay at 155, but if the opportunity comes and the circumstance permits, then I'll take a fight at 170 again, no problem.
Mhm. I asked you about Tawanchai, the champ at 155, up at 170. It's obviously another killer. I mean, what do you think of him? He's a crazy guy to watch, right?
Yeah, man, and yeah, Urso. I've been watching him for many years as well, man. And that guy is he's the top. He's up there. You know what I mean? That would be a very difficult fight if I was to ever stand across from him. Very difficult. I know that I'd be challenged, you know what I mean? But like I said, no matter who stands across from me, I'm gonna do my best to try to outclass them. And if outclassing doesn't work, then I'm gonna do my best to outwork them. I
Mhm.
have no problem with. Uh, I'd rather not, but I have no problem with dying in that ring.
I love this mindset. That's awesome, dude.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's no problem, man. Let's get back to you. Just a few more questions here before I let you go.
Yeah,
Off to a great start this year, obviously. Great knockout
yeah,
win to kick off the year. Where are you hoping to be by the time this year is over?
man. Uh, it might feel a little far fetched and like a little too soon to be speaking about it, but uh, with having that belt would be nice to finish off the
Hmm.
year. You know what I mean? If not the next 2 years, but
Hmm.
this whole year, I'm just gunning for the next challenge and trying to work
Hmm.
my way up as fast
And
as
you're
possible.
right. So you're hoping to stay really active. You sort of alluded to that already. Like the plan for you is just keep knocking these fights out over and over.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, let's wrap it up with this. Obviously, you gained some new fans, I'm assuming, with this last win. Very
Thank you,
impressive on a
thank
big
you.
show. And the first American man to win a Muay Thai fight and one championship. That's pretty cool,
Man,
too.
man, that's
What,
dope, man. That's
yeah,
dope.
that's awesome, man. What do you have to say to all the people that are supporting you after this big win?
I just want to say thank you for the continued support. Thanks for sticking with me. Uh, just like any fighter, our journeys are going to go like this. So thank you for sticking with me through the lows just as much as sticking with me through the highs. And I appreciate y'all.